What's up, guys? Shaker and I'll come back at you in another video. And today we're back and we're doing every team's worst pick of the 2022 NFL Draft. We've been doing a lot of draft videos here on the channel recently, and we have another one coming at you today. Tomorrow's video, I'm thinking about doing a quiz. Can you name every player in the 2022 NFL Draft? Which should be fun, I guess. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing it, but I don't know like a ton of 7th round guys, 6th round guys, even most of the 5th round. I definitely do know a lot of players though, and that's why I can name like the best pick and the worst pick. But I really don't know these like average guys that were taken in the 7th and like the 7th round. So I'm thinking about doing that quiz, but I don't know. Let's hop into the video. The Browns, in my opinion, their worst pick was Alex Wright, the defensive end out of UAB. You definitely understand it, but he really is like developmental. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know who he was before the Browns called his name on draft day. I think Travis Jones would have been the better pick in that spot. Wait, I actually think he was selected to pick before. But I really didn't love the pick in Alex Wright out of UAB. The Cardinals. I'm going to say their worst pick was... I really liked all their picks. So, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to say their worst pick was the Hollywood Brown trade. Because you gave up a first-round pick for Hollywood Brown. And that's just a big overpay. You could have gotten somebody better with that first-round pick, for sure. The Falcons now. What do I think their worst pick was? I really like the Falcons draft. I might say John Fitzpatrick in the 6th. It's kind of nitpicking, but he didn't really see a ton of production in college. He being behind Brock Bowers. And I don't know if he's going to do much for the Falcons, just because you already have Kyle Pitts. I'm not sure if Hayden Hurst is still hanging around, but he could be, and that would just be a waste of a pick for a Falcons. So I'm going to say it's John Fitzpatrick in the 6th round. The Baltimore Ravens. Who do I think their worst pick is? I think I'm probably going to say the Charlie Kolar pick, or I'm probably going to say likely, actually. Because you do not need 7 tight ends on your team. This is probably going to be like a 49ers thing. So the 49ers just stack up on running backs and all of them are good. It's kind of what the Ravens do with tight ends. They just need like a million of them. But I'm probably going to say likely was their worst pick. Just because like you don't need 2 tight ends in one draft. And especially in the 4th round, you took your 2nd tight end. That's not a great pick. The Bills. I don't know. The Bills had an interesting draft. Who do I think their worst pick is? Probably Terrell Bernard. Again, I wasn't too familiar with him. I know about him now. But he's slightly undersized. But I definitely think he could be a good player, but like 3rd round, me not knowing about him, I do a lot of draft research in my opinion, and him just taking him in the 3rd round may have been a little bit early. The Panthers now. I don't really know how like bad the Panthers draft was, because I really like their picks. Brandon Smith could be really good. Corral could end up being really good. Ikem Ekwonu was a phenomenal pick. I like the Cade Mays pick. Amari Bono. I'm probably going to say Kalen Barnes maybe in the 7th, even though I did like the pick. He's literally all athlete, though. This guy cannot play corner to save his life. He's just an athlete that ran a 4.23 40-yard dash. So that's all that guy is. Now time for the Chicago Bears. What do I think their worst pick was? I didn't like that they took Velus Jones in the 3rd when like they were like you should have taken a better player. But I didn't hate it, I guess. I don't really know what I didn't like about the Bears draft. Maybe I'd say Kyler Gordon or Jaquan Brisker. I wasn't too high on Jaquan Brisker. I'm probably going to say it's their worst pick, just because I definitely wasn't too high on him. And you really should take in a receiver there, especially if Sky Moore was on the board. That was just not great. And George Pickens. Bengals now. I know a lot of people aren't high on the Zachary Carter pick, but they definitely addressed a ton of needs. Maybe the Tyson Anderson pick in the 5th round when you've already taken 2 safeties. You have 2 safeties in Jesse Bates and Von Bell on the roster. I mean, I don't really know what his role is going to be, so I'm going to say Tyson Anderson. The Cowboys, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, it's Tyler Smith in my opinion. Not NFL ready yet, and he's probably not even going to play right away when the Cowboys have holes all over the offensive line. And they definitely could have addressed, a different area other than Tyler Smith in that spot. So I think Tyler Smith was their worst pick. I don't think it was really all that close. The Broncos. This is interesting. I'm going to be honest. I think I might say Montrell Washington. Like, the Broncos receiving core is fine. But I'm going to be honest, there were a lot better receivers than this guy. He was good against, he had, a good game against Florida. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not familiar with this guy at all. And take a guy in the 5th round when you had guys like Bo Melton there. I'm not sure if Shakir was there, but he might have been. Definitely a lot better receivers were on the board than Montrell Washington. Kyle Phillips, I think, might have been there. Just kind of a reach by the Broncos. Not sure about some of those picks, though. The Lions. I'm going to say the Hutchinson pick was phenomenal. The Jameson Williams trade up was a scam with the Vikings, so I'm going to say it was okay. Josh Pascal might be it, though. I like the pick, though. I didn't honestly hate it. I don't really know what I hate the most. Maybe James Mitchell. It's a 5th round pick, but maybe you don't need tight end all that bad just due to having TJ Hawkinson. But he does get injured a decent amount. I really didn't hate that pick. Did I say Kirby Joseph? I don't know. I didn't watch Kirby Joseph. I can't really say much about this draft. It's either Pascal or... I'm going to say Pascal. I really didn't hate the Lions draft, though. The Packers. I love the Packers draft. I really don't see anything being wrong with this draft. They did take 3 wide receivers, but that's how many they need. Do I say Samori? I'm not familiar with this guy at all. And you already took 2 receivers. I mean, you really could use another one, but I guess that pick I didn't love. I mean, it's your 7th round pick. It was one of the last picks of the draft as well. But the Packers had a phenomenal draft, in my opinion. The Texans. This draft was crazy for the Texans. I'm going to say their worst pick was Stingley at number 3. It was just a little bit of a reach, in my opinion. You could have probably taken him at 13. I'm not sure if you could have, but I think you probably could have. Just a little bit early for Stingley. The Colts. If you look at the thumbnail, I did not like the Alec Pierce pick. People like the height and the speed, the athleticism there, but I really do not think Alec Pierce is that good. I don't like his route running, and people are saying that he has good hands, but I don't love his hands really that much either. They think he does good with 50-50 balls. I don't really think he does do good with 50-50 balls. I think he drops a lot of them. I really don't think Alec Pierce is all that talented, and the Colts took him just earlier than I think they should have. The Jags. Did I say Muma was their worst pick? I really don't, though, because I like the player. Gregory Jr. is the guy's name. Oh, that's funny. I'm going to say their worst pick, though, was Snoop Conner. Again, I don't hate the player, but when you look at their running backs, you got James Conner, you have Travis Etienne, and the running backs behind them play decent, okay? I really don't think you need this third running back. Again, they might get hurt, but just they already have a lot of running backs on roster, so did not love the Snoop Conner pick. The Chiefs. Do I say the Brian Cook pick? I'm going to say the Karlaftis pick, but then people will scream at me, because, I know a lot of people are high on Karlaftis, but I'm not high on him. I don't think the athlete is there, and people like the power that he has, the run defending that he has. I think he has decent run defending, but I don't see him having all that much power in the pass rushing game. The Chiefs really did need a defensive lineman, but I didn't love the player. Chargers, probably Isaiah Spiller. You have Joshua Kelly, you took Larry Roundtree last year, and this is a guy who is not an athlete. He does not have the speed, at all, the athleticism, and that's why he probably fell a little bit. But when you look at the running backs who have had his athleticism in a while, I saw a TikTok. It's just they haven't turned out great, and I don't think Isaiah Spiller's going to turn out great either. The Rams. They didn't have a ton of picks, so I can't really hate on it. Their draft all that much. I like the Kyren Williams pick. That's why I'm not going to say Kyren Williams. I know a lot of guys like the Logan Bruce pick. I'm not familiar with, much of their draft, though. Yeah, the NFL announced their London games, by the way. The Seahawks and Bucks are going to play in London. Vikings and Saints. The Giants and Packers and Broncos and Jaguars will be in London. So, yeah, I really didn't hate the Rams draft, though. Who do I'm not going to pick, because I can't say anything about their draft. The Raiders. I can't say much about this draft either. What did I hate about it? Not much, honestly. Maybe the Britton Brown pick in the 7th, just because you already took a running back. You have a pretty good running back on roster in Josh Jacobs, but again, I really didn't hate the Raiders draft. But looking back, that pick in the 7th, maybe a little bit of a waste of a pick. The Dolphins, probably Cameron Good. I know a lot of people were not too high on him. But, yeah, in the 7th round, not much. Maybe a Skylar Thompson pick, because, Jacoby Brissett left, so you do need a backup, I guess. The Vikings, this is easy. It's probably the Brian Asamoah pick, it's probably the Ed Ingram pick, honestly. A lot of guys weren't too high on the Ed Ingram pick, because he probably should not have gone in the 2nd round. The Vikings, that trade that they made with the Lions was so bad. It got finessed. Patriots, I'm going to say their worst pick was Zappe. It's a 4th round pick, Patriots. You do not need a quarterback. That is the exact same as the past 2 that you've already had. I understand that it's a backup quarterback, but Mac Jones has not had an injury history, bro. Do not take a quarterback in that spot. Patriots draft overall was an F for me. If you watch my draft grades video, and the Bailey Zappi pick was probably their worst one, even though all of them were pretty bad. The Saints, this is easily Alontae Taylor out of Tennessee. It was too early, and it's a guy who's not ready to go yet. For sure, can definitely play safety as well. But you signed Tyrann Mathieu. You signed Marcus May. You have C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I didn't think you needed to get Alontae Taylor there in that spot. Time for the final row teams. The Giants. Worst pick by far was Wan'Dale Robinson. I probably should put him on the thumbnail. This was one of the worst picks of the draft, in my opinion. Very undersized, and will do the exact same thing that Kadarius Toney will. You already have that player on your team. You do not need to take another one that is the exact same. They hated this pick for the Giants. The Jets. I love the Jets draft. Can't really say I hated much of their picks. I'm probably going to say the Jeremy Ruckert pick was their worst one. Right? Because you signed C.J. Uzomah, who had good production last season for the Bengals. And Jeremy Ruckert did not have great production at Ohio State. He's a phenomenal player, but the production was not there. So you really don't know too much about him. I know a lot of guys are high on him. Was previously from my old town in Long Island. So, but yeah, Jeremy Ruckert is a great player. The Eagles. Who I think their worst pick was? Their draft was phenomenal. Maybe Cam Jurgens. Just a little bit high. You took a center last year in Landon Dickerson. I think he's playing guard now for them, though. But maybe this wasn't the best pick, replacing Kelsey here at this spot. Where there definitely were some better players available than Cameron Jurgens out of Nebraska. So I'm going to say Cam Jurgens. Steelers. They had a great draft. Maybe the Connor and Hayward pick. Like, I understand what you're trying to do, team up the brothers, but, well, I'm going to actually say Chris Adelakun. Because you really don't need another quarterback to just hog up space in there. Probably not even going to make the team where you already have Pickett, Trubisky, and Rudolph. That's 3 quarterbacks. You don't need a 4th one in Chris Adelakun. Seattle. I'm going to say the Boye Mafe pick. I really, people are going to get mad at me for saying the Boye Mafe pick, but I do not like Boye Mafe. Probably should have watched more games on him, but from what I saw, Boye Mafe is not a good player. The athleticism is there, but he's so raw. In run defending, he's so lost. Like, he just does not know what he's doing out there. And it's a bad pick for Seattle. The 49ers, I'm going to say Tyrion Davis-Price was their worst pick. Because, this guy is going to be phenomenal. Because, I'm saying this now, but you don't need another running back. You have 7 on roster already. You don't need to take one in the 3rd round. That was a waste of space of a pick. The Bucs, maybe the Luke Goedeke pick. Just because, there were better players available than Luke Goedeke. His teammate at Central Michigan, Bernhard Raimann, was there if you were going to take an offensive tackle. Just did not love the Luke Goedeke pick. The Titans. Can I say a trade? The A.J. Brown trade was the worst pick for the Titans, in my opinion, because you get a worse player in Treylon Burks. You're just downgrading, and you could have paid him. I just did not really understand that trade. And then the Washington Commanders' worst pick was Phidarian Mathis. I think that's pretty good value for him. He's a good player, for sure. But just, you don't need a D lineman, and that was a bit interesting to me. So, this is every team's worst pick of the 2022 NFL Draft. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.